Inside the starting of the film, we are proven a woman and a boy who were scared. In a hurry, they have been going to the hospital due to the fact that girl was approximately to turn out to be a mom and her toddler changed into approximately to sleep. In a hurry, the woman's thoughts moves away from the auto, which induced her vehicle to have an coincidence. The auto comes from a tree and collides. Seeing this, the boy takes her out of the auto and now those human beings begin walking beforehand. In the same jungle, a person comes who seems like an assassin and he assaults the female and injures her. Seeing this, the girl receives very scared and begins running away from there. She hides in the back of a tree in order that the murderer does not discover her and kill her. After this, we see a couple whose spouse's call was April. Inside the equal jungle, those humans had taken a cabin in which they were going to take a holiday. April additionally introduced her sister and her husband along with her. April changed into searching very concerned, so she begins devouring her nails. When her husband sees her doing this, he refuses. He additionally reassures her that do not worry, the whole thing can be best. Her sister was sleeping on the back's devour and these humans begin making a laugh of her voice. But then April's husband drives the auto so loudly that her eyes open. After a while, they attain their vacation spot wherein Gibbons changed into written at one vicinity. Because there used to be a circle of relatives right here whose head's name was Gibbons, so this changed into the name of the own family. And now this residence become bought via April's husband. Her husband gets out of the auto and opens the lock and those human beings pass interior. Now they're very happy to look their cabin because it was searching very exceptional. April's sister's husband, whose name become Tim, tells her husband that undoubtedly the residence is right, however it is very antique. So we cannot to spend a whole lot of cash on it, we will need to do a variety of paintings. Hearing this, April's husband says that I only bought the land right here. I were given this residence with this land and due to the fact the residence is loose for me, I have no hassle with it. Now Tim says that there's no signal right here, so I am going to the jungle, I need to make a call. April's husband asks her that I purchased this residence for you, this is a gift of this kind, so did you want it? To which she says that yes, I appreciated it very an awful lot, this is the great gift for me to date. When Tim went to discover the sign, he started listening to some noise from the jungle. He becomes scared due to the fact he felt that there may be a person in the jungle. He goes to test in fear that his wife comes from behind and scares him. She says to Tim that you don't waste a while right here and pass within the house quietly. After which those human beings come in the house and spot that this house may be very vintage. And there has been also a picture of the Gibbons circle of relatives who used to live right here. There has been a pair among them and they had 2 kids. Then April's husband tells that this circle of relatives is now lifeless, so I purchased this residence. Then these human beings take a look at the entire residence, see that it is very massive. Additionally they get a children's room there, in which after they move, there are a number of damaged dolls. They think it is very atypical that what kind of infant can be this that breaks the dolls. Now a stranger from the jungle become maintaining a watch on them. He comes near the window and begins gazing April and her sister. April receives a locket there, which offers her loads of patience, so she puts it round her neck. Then April's sister's eyes exit and he or she sees a person there. However the subsequent second that character had disappeared from there, so she ignores this. Then those humans take out all of the stuff from their automobile and preserve it inside the residence. April's sister tells her that I met you after a long term and talked to you. I never came to fulfill you, so please forgive me my sister. On which April says which you stay far away from me as tons as you want, but our relationship can by no means damage. Because we're the identical blood, we're sisters, so we love each other loads. When April's husband and Tim had been speaking outdoor, then he thanked you Tim. That you took out some time and got here right here with me. On which Tim says which you are my superb buddy, so I will do whatever for you. By way of the way, inform me one factor, I did now not keep in mind that why did you buy such an old house within the middle of the jungle? There are not any resources to live right here, in order that human beings can stay right here without difficulty. Then he tells that a while in the past our toddler died before beginning. So April turned into in shock due to the fact she misplaced her child. So as to make her mind right, she needed an area like this, that is, wherein there may be no one except 2 to 3 human beings. So that is why I've offered a house a ways from the town within the jungle. In order that she can spend her satisfied vacations right here effortlessly. In this manner, her mind will even amplify and she may also come out of the shock. Then, being happy, Tim tells her that when April got here, she become very glad to see the house. So now you don't worry about it, it's going to get higher slowly. Listening to this, he hugs Tim and thanks him that you are giving me this sort of precise delight. Then they each go internal and that they drink quite a few cigarettes and experience plenty. After a long term, Tim and his spouse begin going to their room to sleep. While April and her husband had been out of doors because they have been speak me. Even from here we can certainly see that someone is standing close to the window and retaining an eye on them. Then once they were within the room, April tells her husband that nowadays I'm very satisfied after a long time. I'm feeling very good right here. You're excellent, you deal with me a lot and thanks very lots for getting this house for me. Hearing this, her husband is happy due to the fact he felt that now she will be high quality. Then inside the middle of the night while she becomes snoozing in deep sleep, that unknown guy enters her residence. He goes to April's room, breaks her gray locket and maintains it with him. Then in the morning, April has a dream that she is set to come to be a mom. But all of a sudden she tears her stomach and takes the child out. Now after seeing one of these terrible dreams, she turned into very scared. So she at once opens her eyes, is going to the kitchen fast and devours her drugs. But then all of a sudden she sees a man outside the window. Seeing this, she gets very scared and screams loudly. Listening to her voice, everybody else comes there and asks her what occurred to you. Is the whole thing okay? Then she tells him that I've seen a person outdoor the window. Listening to this, Tim tells her that he will be my buddy. I have known as him to do the housework. Then when Tim opens the door, it turned into clearly his buddy who introduced any other guy with him. Due to the fact each of them had come to interrupt the residence and make the house new. Now Tim tells about each of them. He says that my pal does creation paintings. This is, he maintains getting homes constructed. So he's going to see the house thoroughly and make it like a new one. And even as his buddy is likewise a plumber and carpenter. Which will make all of the fixtures of the house for us. Tim tells them that you will should repair the roof first. Because the rain continues coming here, so that the water does no longer pass internal. Then all 4 of them pop out to peer the entire residence. So that he can decide wherein to start running. Whilst April's sister sees that she is sitting on my own inner. So she is going to her and begin speak me. Right here the plumber also asks April's husband why did you purchase this residence? To which he replies that I used to be getting this house for a completely low price. So right away, I purchased the residence at once. So the plumber says that do you realize approximately the records of this house? This is, what took place right here before you came. So April's husband says that yes, I understand the records of this house and the whole thing about it. Before us, the Gibbons family used to live here. And this house is taken into consideration very awful. Due to the fact quite a few murders have been devoted here. About whom we've not been able to find out till nowadays. Although the police had additionally achieved numerous research. But additionally they did not get any evidence. Then sooner or later when the pinnacle of the own family, i.e. Gibbons, become drinking tea. Then someone attacked him from behind. Which broke his head. And then that person chipped the components of Gibbons's body and put it in his mouth. Because of which he died. Then later his spouse became additionally killed. Hearing this, the plumber asks, did you discover about who killed that family? To which April's husband says that no, nobody has been able to discover about this. Then the plumber asks April's husband that the 2 youngsters of Gibbons and his spouse have been additionally there. Due to the fact I had seen them in the interior image. So handiest a person had killed Gibbons and his wife. What happened to their kids? Wherein did they move? To which he replies that it turned into heard that both the youngsters had run far away from right here. On account that then they are missing. I don't know in which they may be. They need to be alive or dead by way of now. Now each person may be very scared to pay attention this. To which his husband says that I have informed you all about this. Despite the fact that I should not have informed you. However, remember that April need to now not recognize about all this. In any other case, she will be able to take anxiety once more and will be in surprise once more. Within the room, April and her sister get loads of clothes from the closet. After wearing them, she turns into very glad, sings and starts off evolved dancing. There they all attain a pond which was very near their house. They assume that this pond is pretty massive, so we will without a doubt trap fish from it. Alternatively, April's sister apologizes to him. She says that my pricey sister, forgive me. Due to the fact when your baby died, I did not come to you. Although you needed me. I did not understand what I need to do, so I did no longer come. The remorse of which I still have. April says to him that I have forgiven you lengthy in the past. Due to the fact whoever you are my sister, I cannot live far away from you. She additionally tells him that after my baby was about to be born, I was very glad. Because that toddler turned into coming to me as a variety of happiness and wish. But that incident befell with me, after which I used to be in shock because of being in anxiety. So that is why my husband offered this residence for me, in order that my heart can rest. She became very emotional while telling all this. This is why she starts crying. Even within the afternoon, whilst she changed into devouring all the food, someone was maintaining an eye fixed on her. After this, Tim and his friend exit to get alcohol. Right here his buddy says that let's go to the pond to catch fish. Because these days I actually need to consume fish. On which the team agrees and those two visit trapped fish. The plumber turned into operating at domestic to install the water machine. Whilst he starts speaking to April's husband, he tells him approximately his family. Once they had been catching fish there, their hands did not touch something. It really is why Tim's buddy tells him to sit right here, I will visit the jungle. As soon as he is going to the jungle, a totally tall guy comes there. Who gave the look of a risky killer. He assaults Tim's buddy and catches him. He attaches him the wrong way up with a rope. Then he places him in a risky entice. As soon as he presses him, he dies a very terrible devour. And we are able to simplest hear his screams. Tim receives very fearful hearing his screams. It is why he comes here to test. But the killer also catches him and ties him with a sequence. He then brings the chain to Tim's mouth. Pulls him hard and chips his mouth with a series. Which also kills him. Then within the nighttime, April's husband and plumber go to the pond to test. Where are they? Because they did not come domestic in the evening. They get their stuff right here. However, they had been now not seen anywhere. These two are very worried, wondering wherein they have got long gone. Anywhere they begin seeking out them. But they do not find them everywhere. Now it is night time, the plumber calls Tim's telephone. He gets a call. Whose voice become coming from a shed. This is, from a small wood cabin. Then they cross there while following the voice. While the plumber goes within the shed. Then he understood that a person ought to be dwelling right here. Due to the fact the condition of the cabin became such that a person lives right here. All the vital things have been also lying there. Then he unearths Tim and his friend's lifeless body there. Whose condition changed into very bad. Due to the fact they have been badly chipped. Seeing this, the plumber's very own situation additionally deteriorates a lot. He became very fearful. It really is why he tells everyone that we need to get out of right here as quickly as viable. But as quickly as the blade sticks, the killer comes out of the shed and is derived in front of them. This is, the one who killed them both. And now he additionally attacks the plumber. Because of which he fell down. After doing this, the killer catches April's husband. Seeing this, each the girls get very apprehensive. And without delay come to their house and close all the home windows and doorways, in order that the killer cannot input. Now she sees the mild coming from the room of her kids. She changed into very frightened. And the following moment a person opens the door and comes out of it. Which was a woman. She changed into about to have a baby. That female was looking like a very risky animal. She assaults April's sister and kills her. Her throat is chip and devouring. Due to the fact she become a cannibal. This is, a man-devourer. There April's husband attempts to combat the killer. However the killer places a huge nail in his eye. Because of which his eye bursts. And she has that ache. Because of which she also died. As that female moves forward to assault April. So her belly starts off evolved to harm plenty. Seeing this, April knows that she became going to have an infant. So to help the woman, she involves her without fear. Now the girl's baby is born. Which did no longer appear like a regular infant. He became looking unpleasant like a demon. However nevertheless April takes him in her lap. And begins remembering that if my infant changed into born, then it'd have been similar to this. And similar to this, she could have taken him in her lap and fed him. That lady asks April for her toddler. So she offers it to him. Then she begins questioning that I desire this child become mine. She was very abnormal. Within the greed to get the kid, she bites that female's throat. From which she is killed. So April takes her baby. In order that she will keep him close to her and lift him. Then when the killer reaches there, he is very surprised to look his daughter in April's hand. But he does no longer say something to her. Then Plumber comes here and stabs the killer inside the back. Which made him subconscious. Then he says to April that we have to get out of here as soon as possible. However she says no. I cannot move from here without my husband. Plumber says that simplest you and that I are alive. Other than us, this killer has killed anyone. On which April says that if my husband is not anymore, then what is going to I do right here? Now I'm able to live here and raise this baby. On which Plumber explains to her. Appearance, do not be loopy. This baby is not yours. In truth, it belongs to both of them. Who are not exact people. They may now not depart you alive. Due to the fact they are cannibals. And this isn't always an everyday human toddler. In reality, it is a devil. April does no longer like to pay attention to him. She scolds him and tells him to head from right here. That now this child is mine. At the side of the house. So I'm able to live right here. I'm able to now not go away this location and pass everywhere. Then being attentive to this, Plumber knows that she has gone completely loopy inside the greed of the child. So it's why he doesn't say whatever to April. And goes to go from here. Whilst he's taking the car and reaches near the gate. Then the killer comes there. Attacks him. And kills him with a number of mercy. Now I can inform you what changed into taking place. Approach who become this killer and that lady. And why have been they killing every person? Genuinely, she become the kid of the primary own family living in that residence. That is, the Gibbons' own family. Those two twin sisters had an awful relationship between the brothers. Due to which her sister changed into in that kingdom. Which we saw inside the starting. Way sitting in the automobile. While a boy and a lady were going. The girl changed into approximately to have an infant. While she became nobody else. In fact, she became the kid of Gibbons. And whilst her mother and father hostile her for this wrong deed. So those brothers killed them. The police had closed this situation. Due to the fact they did now not get any proof from right here. The police believed that each the brothers and sisters could have run far away from right here. However the two of them have been hiding here for a long term. And the coming people used to kill and eat all and sundry. Because now that they had end up dangerous cannibals. And with this the story ends here.